Welcome back, everyone, to SENTVDharma. Have you ever felt that your current life is plagued by recurring challenges, inexplicable difficulties, or seemingly illogical karmic ties? Many believe these could be the consequences of karmic seeds we sown in past lives. Today, we'll unravel a profound yet hopeful topic: how to dissolve bad karma from past lives. This is a journey of discovery not just about the past, but about our own power of transformation. Please welcome our special guest speaker.
Hello, SENTVDharma, and to all our esteemed viewers. This is indeed a deeply profound topic, and I'm very much looking forward to exploring this path of transformation with all of you. I hope today's sharing brings light and faith to your spiritual journey.
Poku Sarana, we've discussed karma in this life, but karma from past lives is a deeper concept that can sometimes cause confusion. Could you explain its essence more clearly and how we can understand the connection between a distant past and our present?
Yes, as we've discussed, karma is the precise and natural law of cause and effect. However, karma isn't limited to a single lifespan. The Buddha clearly taught that our stream of consciousness has flowed through countless lifetimes, and each life has been a ground for us to sow countless karmic seeds through body, speech, and mind. These seeds, whether wholesome or unwholesome, do not perish, but are stored in our store consciousness, alaya vijnana. When conditions are ripe, these seeds manifest in this life or future lives. Karma from past lives simply refers to those seeds sown in previous existences that are now ripening in our current life, shaping every aspect from our health, finances, relationships, to our deepest psychological tendencies.
So, does this mean that everything we're experiencing today, whether positive or challenging, has its roots in a very distant past, even lives we can't remember?
Precisely. The Buddha taught that there is no discernible beginning to the cycle of rebirth, samsara. We've traversed innumerable lifetimes, sowing countless seeds in each. What we experience, our health, finances, relationships, even our personality traits and psychological predispositions, are all the ripening of past karma. Understanding this isn't meant to burden us or make us fatalistic. Instead, it's to realize that we are the true masters of our own experiences. We're not victims of fate or chance, but rather the architects of our own reality. And therefore, we possess the inherent capacity to change. This is an incredibly empowering message about self-mastery and personal responsibility.
That indeed offers a powerful perspective on self-mastery. But how can we recognize the signs of past life karma ripening in our current lives, especially since we don't remember past existences? Are there specific fingerprints of past karma that we can observe?
That's an excellent question, and it's the very first step toward resolution. Although we cannot recall the specifics of past lives, karma clearly manifests through various signs in our current life. Learning to observe and recognize them is the key to beginning the journey of transformation. Although we don't recall past lives, karma clearly manifests through discernible signs in our current existence. We must learn to observe and recognize them. Do you find yourself repeatedly facing the same types of problems in your career, finances, or relationships, despite trying every possible solution? For instance, consistently encountering deceitful partners, or seeing your ventures repeatedly fail for no apparent reason, or suffering from persistent health issues despite numerous treatments. This could be a pattern of unwholesome karma ripening, a script written by past actions.
Could you give a concrete example of such a recurring script?
Certainly. Let's consider the story of Ravi, a typical example of how past karma can manifest through recurring challenges in one's career and finances, regardless of talent or effort. Ravi was a diligent and capable individual. He started 3 different companies over 15 years. Each time, the company would flourish in its initial stages, but at a certain point, usually just as it was nearing significant success, it would encounter unexpected setbacks. Partners withdrawing funds, major clients going bankrupt, or even an inexplicable lawsuit, forcing him to close down and start over. He couldn't understand why he always faced bad luck at the most crucial moments. This could be a sign of past stinginess or misappropriation of others' assets, ripening now to make it difficult for wealth to accumulate sustainably. This refers to a persistent sense of sadness, anxiety, or unhappiness without clear causes from current events, or an inexplicable fear or obsession despite seeking help from various therapies. Sometimes it's a deep sense of loneliness even when surrounded by many people, or an emptiness that cannot be filled.
So, inner suffering that has no specific cause in our present life.
That's right. To further clarify these unexplained sorrows, I want to share May's story. This is a case that shows how karmic seeds from past lives can ripen into deep-seated emotions without clear immediate causes. May was a successful woman with a happy family and a stable job. But from childhood, she carried a subtle sadness, a profound sense of loneliness that no one, even she, could understand. She frequently experienced inexplicable bouts of anxiety, especially as night fell. Despite seeing doctors and attending therapy sessions, the feeling persisted. This could be a sign of karma from having caused separation or loss for others, or from not cherishing happiness in a past life, now manifesting as inner emotional suffering. Do you find yourself having deeply ingrained unwholesome tendencies that are very hard to overcome, such as inexplicable anger, excessive greed, intense jealousy, chronic procrastination, or harsh speech, despite trying hard to control them? These tendencies seem to be deeply embedded in your nature, making them incredibly difficult to change. This could be the imprint of unwholesome karma accumulated long ago in your store consciousness, now influencing your current behavior.
So, these are like bad habits that we seem to be born with?
Precisely. Sometimes, past karma manifests through our strong personality traits. Let's look at Kenji's story to see how a karmic seed of anger from long ago can affect someone in the present. Kenji was a kind and gentle man in his daily life, but when driving, he became incredibly hot-tempered, easily angered and prone to cursing others over minor incidents. He knew it was wrong and tried hard to control it, but found it very difficult. Each time he felt remorse. This inexplicable anger could be karma from having caused suffering through harsh words or violent actions in a past life, now ripening as difficulty controlling his aversion. There are people we meet and immediately feel a deep kinship, as if they're family, or conversely, feel an intense aversion and experience continuous conflict without understanding why. Especially those relationships that bring many challenges and disputes, despite efforts to reconcile. These are often the results of karmic ties formed over many past lives, possibly as acts of kindness or enmity.
So these are like destined relationships.
Yes, one could call them that. I'm sure you've also encountered people you instantly disliked or consistently found yourself in conflict with for no specific reason. Devi's story with her colleague will illustrate more clearly these karmic rivalries from past lives. Devi had a colleague with whom she simply could not get along. Although there were no direct conflicts, whenever she was near this person, Devi felt uncomfortable, annoyed, and frequently experienced small misunderstandings and arguments. Both tried to avoid each other, but work always pushed them into shared projects. This could be karma from having caused division, discord, or jealousy toward that person in a past life, now ripening as a difficult relationship that causes suffering for both. Being born into difficult family circumstances, a war-torn country, or with innate physical defects, chronic illnesses from a young age with no clear cause, these are often the results of collective karma, shared karma with a group of people or a nation, such as karma of killing, harming others' living environments, or disrespecting one's own or others' bodies.
So karma doesn't just affect individuals, but also our surrounding environment.
That's right. Karma can also manifest through harsh life circumstances or innate deficiencies. Saki's story is a touching example of how past karma can affect a person's physical body and life from birth. Saki was born with a rare disease, causing her constant pain and severe physical limitations from a very young age. Despite her family's efforts to seek treatment everywhere, her condition did not improve. This could be karma from having harmed the lives of other beings or from not cherishing one's own health in the past, now ripening as a sickly body for her to learn lessons of patience and compassion.
Hearing this, it seems we can discern a part of our karmic map through what is unfolding in our lives. So once we recognize these signs, what's the next step? How can we truly dissolve these burdens from past lives instead of continuously enduring them?
Once recognized, that's when we gain the power to change. Dissolving unwholesome karma from past lives doesn't mean completely erasing what has been sown. Rather, it means transforming their impact, making the karmic fruit ripen more lightly, or even preventing it from ripening at all. More importantly, it means not sowing new unwholesome seeds, while diligently sowing wholesome seeds. This is a process that requires perseverance and profound understanding.
So, what are the specific methods, Bhikkhu Sarana, that we can practice to dissolve unwholesome karma from past lives and cultivate a more peaceful life? Please share each method in detail.
These are the core practices we can apply, requiring diligence and sincerity. The first and most crucial step is repentance. Repentance is not about guilt or self-flagellation, but a deep realization of past wrongdoings, whether remembered from past lives or not. A firm vow not to repeat them, and actively engaging in wholesome deeds to compensate. Cultivate a mind of compassion, free from resentment towards anyone, even those who have caused you suffering. Whenever an unwholesome thought of anger, greed, or delusion arises, recognize it and transform it into compassion, letting go of attachment. This is how we cleanse karmic seeds at their root, preventing them from germinating.
So we change from within, from our mental state, and that has the power to purify karma?
Precisely. Sincere repentance from the depths of the heart holds immense power to purify karma. Prostrations to the Buddha. Daily prostrations with a sincere heart, contemplating that you are repenting for wrongdoings from countless eons. Mindful breathing. When thoughts of anger arise, pause, observe your breath, acknowledge the emotion, and allow it to dissipate without acting upon it. Vowing not to repeat. Each morning, make a vow not to commit unwholesome actions, speak harsh words, or entertain unwholesome thoughts throughout the day. To demonstrate the purifying power of repentance, I want to share the case of Mr. Chen, a man who found peace and lightened his karmic burden through sincere repentance. Mr. Chen was a very successful businessman, but he constantly felt restless and suffered from severe, inexplicable headaches. After learning about the Dharma, he realized that in his past, he had used many unethical tactics in business competition, harming rivals. He began practicing repentance daily, prostrating before the Buddha, and vowing never to repeat those actions. Simultaneously, he actively began helping small businesses. Gradually, his headaches subsided, and his mind became much more peaceful. This is proof that sincere repentance can lighten the karmic fruit. Unwholesome karma consists of negative seeds. To dissolve them, we need to sow abundant positive seeds, creating a powerful stream of merit to overshadow and transform the unwholesome karma. Actively engage in wholesome deeds, helping others with a selfless mind. Practice generosity not just with money, but also with Dharma, sharing Buddhist teachings, useful knowledge, fearlessness, helping beings escape danger, saving animals, time, effort, and wisdom. The more we give with a compassionate heart, the lighter unwholesome karma becomes, and wholesome karma will ripen quickly.
And will this create a positive energy flow in our lives, like a way to compensate for what we've sown?
That's right. As the saying goes, merit is in the heart. Accumulating merit acts as an antidote to unwholesome karma, while also building a strong foundation for peace and prosperity in the present and future. Offerings to the Triple Gem, supporting the construction of temples, printing scriptures, and making offerings to the Sangha. Releasing, saving sentient beings from being killed. Helping the needy, supporting charitable organizations, or directly assisting underprivileged individuals. Blood donation, a noble act of physical generosity. Sharing knowledge, offering free teaching, sharing experiences to help others grow. And to clearly see how accumulating merit can transform one's life, even starting with small deeds, let's turn to the story of Maya, a woman whose financial destiny changed through her boundless generosity. Maya used to struggle financially, always fighting to make ends meet. One day, she heard the Dharma and understood the benefits of generosity. Though she didn't have much money, she started dedicating a small portion of her income to help elderly individuals in need, and regularly volunteered at the temple. She did everything with a sincere heart, expecting nothing in return. Gradually, her work became strangely smoother. She received excellent opportunities she had never had before, and her life became much more prosperous. This is the ripening fruit of her generosity. After every wholesome deed, big or small, practice the dedication of merit. This means vowing to dedicate this merit to all sentient beings, especially karmic creditors from countless lifetimes, to ancestors, to departed loved ones, and to anyone you may have intentionally or unintentionally harmed. This helps resolve karmic ties, sow wholesome connections, and expand our mind of compassion, creating a pure spiritual space and helping us release from invisible bonds.
So this benefits not only ourselves, but also those we've been connected to in the past, whether through kindness or enmity.
Precisely. Dedicating merit is like spreading blessings, helping to dissolve attachments and resentment from past karma, creating a pure spiritual space, and helping us release from invisible bonds. After meditating, chanting, or performing wholesome deeds, recite a dedication of merit verse or make a personal vow to dedicate the merit. Contemplate the light of your merit spreading throughout the Dharma realm, reaching all sentient beings, especially those with whom you have karmic ties. Many people feel bound by karmically charged relationships. Suresh's story will show us how dedicating merit can resolve deep-seated karmic enmities from past lives. Suresh was a very successful man, but he always felt lonely and couldn't maintain any stable relationships. He frequently had nightmares about a strange woman. After being guided by a teacher, he began practicing dedication of merit after every wholesome deed, specifically dedicating it to his karmic creditors from many lifetimes. Gradually, the nightmares disappeared, and he met a kind woman with whom he built a happy family. He believes this was the result of resolving karmic enmities through dedicating merit. Regularly listen to Dharma talks, read scriptures, meditate, and practice the Noble Eightfold Path. Dharma practice, especially meditation, helps us develop wisdom and eliminate ignorance, the root of all unwholesome karma. When wisdom arises, we no longer sow negative seeds, and we gain the ability to transform existing ones. Especially, mindfulness helps us recognize and cease creating unwholesome karma in every present moment, preventing our minds from being swayed by greed, aversion, and delusion.
So practice not only resolves the past, but also protects our future, building a strong foundation for awakening.
Yes, Dharma practice is the most comprehensive path to purify our karmic stream and walk the path to enlightenment, striving towards liberation. Meditation. Meditate daily to calm the mind, develop mindfulness, and cultivate wisdom. Chanting and recitation helps to stabilize the mind and sow wholesome seeds. Studying the teachings. Reading Buddhist books, listening to Dharma talks to better understand impermanence, non-self, and cause and effect. Practicing mindfulness in daily life. Eating mindfully, walking mindfully, working mindfully, always being aware of one's body, speech, and mind. Dharma practice, especially meditation, has the power to cleanse karma from within the mind. Sumi's story is a clear example of how meditation helped someone transform their karma of anger and find peace. Sumi was a very hot-tempered person, often arguing with everyone around her. Her life was full of conflict and disharmony. After starting to practice meditation daily, she gradually recognized the seeds of aversion within herself. She learned to observe them without being carried away. Slowly, she became calmer, her relationships improved, and her life became much more peaceful. Meditation helped her dissolve the karma of anger from within.
Sometimes, unwholesome karma ripens, bringing painful challenges. It's crucial that we learn to accept what is happening with a peaceful mind, without complaint or resentment. When we accept and understand that this is the result of karma, we stop creating new unwholesome karma through anger, clinging, or resistance. This acceptance is not resignation or giving up, but a step towards liberation from karmic bonds, transforming negative fruits into valuable lessons.
So, it means changing our attitude towards what's happening, seeing it as an opportunity to learn?
That's right. An attitude of acceptance and contemplating, this is my karma, I will learn from it, will help us overcome all obstacles more lightly and at the same time transform them into lessons for progress and prevent sowing more unwholesome seeds from negative reactions. When facing difficulties, instead of complaining, ask yourself, what is the lesson here? Which karma is ripening? What do I need to change? Practice self-compassion and compassion for your circumstances. Sometimes, how we face difficulties is the key to dissolving karma. The story of Pema, a man who transformed adversity into an opportunity for growth through an attitude of acceptance and understanding, will serve as proof of this method. Pema lost his job during one of the most challenging periods of his life. Initially, he was devastated and resented his fate, but then he remembered the teachings on karma and began to accept his circumstances. He didn't blame anyone, but focused on seeking new opportunities and learning new skills. He also dedicated time to helping others who were unemployed. Thanks to this positive attitude and acceptance, he not only found a better job, but also developed an inner peace he never knew before. His acceptance helped him transform the karma of loss into an opportunity for growth.
So, Master Kosa, we've discussed individual karma, but does collective karma also exist? And how does our individual karma relate to what's happening on a larger scale, such as in our families, society, or even nations?
This is a very important and profound aspect of karma. The Buddha taught that there is both individual and collective karma. Individual karma refers to the singular actions of each individual, leading to their unique karmic results. For example, if you work diligently, you earn money. If you speak kind words, you receive affection. Collective karma refers to the shared actions of a group of people, a family, a community, or a nation, creating shared karmic results that all members of that group must collectively experience or enjoy. For instance, a family experiencing generations of poverty, or a nation enduring war or natural disasters.
So, how do individual and collective karma interact?
We are born into specific circumstances due to collective karma. However, how we react and act within those circumstances is our individual karma. Example: in a flood, the collective karma of a region, some people may lose all their possessions, but maintain an optimistic spirit and help others, wholesome individual karma, while others may become despondent, resentful, and even exploit the situation for personal gain, unwholesome individual karma. Both experience the collective karma of the flood, but their individual karma will lead to different future outcomes.
So, if we are living in a community with significant unwholesome collective karma, what can we do to dissolve or lessen its impact?
The best way to dissolve unwholesome collective karma is for each individual within that community to actively cultivate wholesome individual karma. When a sufficient number of people collectively sow wholesome karma, the unwholesome collective karma will gradually transform. Spreading the Dharma. Share correct understanding of karma and Dharma practices with family and friends. Participating in community activities. Contribute to charitable projects, environmental protection, and building civilized communities. Living as an example. Every wholesome action you perform is a positive seed sown into the community, contributing to the transformation of collective karma. To further illustrate the interaction between individual and collective karma, especially within a family context, I want to share the story of the Sharma family. This is an example of how the wholesome individual karma of one person can create positive ripple effects that transform the collective karma of an entire lineage. The Sharma family had lived in poverty and discord for generations, with their children frequently encountering accidents. Mr. Sharma, after taking refuge in the Triple Gem, began practicing repentance, generosity, and especially dedicating merit to his ancestors and all family members. He also encouraged his children and grandchildren to live ethically and perform wholesome deeds. Gradually, his family began to prosper. His children became successful in their endeavors, and the family atmosphere became harmonious and loving. This demonstrates how the wholesome individual karma of one person can gradually transform the collective karma of an entire family.
Master Kosa, what a truly profound and hopeful discussion. We've covered so many aspects, from recognizing past karma to specific methods of dissolution, and even the interaction between individual and collective karma. Thank you so much, Master Kosa, for your invaluable wisdom today.
Thank you, SENTVDharma, and to all our viewers for listening. The topic of past life karma can be complex, but the core message is, we are not bound by past karma. We have the power to transform and shape our future.
So what final message would you like to convey to our audience so they can begin their journey of karmic transformation today?
Remember, every present moment is an opportunity to sow new seeds. The past is gone, but the future is in your hands. By practicing sincere repentance, actively accumulating merit, and practicing generosity paramita, dedicating merit broadly, diligently practicing the Dharma, and living mindfully, along with an attitude of acceptance and understanding towards all challenges, you are actively dissolving the burdens from past lives and creating a peaceful, happy, and sustainably prosperous future. Use every day to live mindfully, sow the most wholesome seeds, and you will witness your life transform miraculously.
Indeed. A heartfelt thank you once again to Master Kosa for your incredibly valuable insights. And thank you, dear viewers, for tuning in to SENTVDharma. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next valuable Dharma content. Feel free to leave your comments below to discuss and practice together. We look forward to seeing you in our next program.